Good morning, Arman.
Morning. How are you
Austin.
doing?
Oh, pretty good. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hi, Austin.
Hi.
Good to see you. Yeah, so great to see you all. Thanks for coming out. And yeah, I was just really curious to know more about Coding Pals. Could you tell me why you decided to create it?
So, when the coronavirus pandemic struck, we realized that lots of kids they wouldn't be able to access the same educational support systems and classes in general. So we thought that it'd be really cool and a really easy way to teach others just by having online classes for coding. In addition, we've also realized that in Vancouver, especially, in order to become good at coding, one has to start at a young age since it becomes a very competitive field when you get older. However, in order to start at a young age, lots of times you have to pay extra for lots of classes or one-on-one tutoring, and it's really hard for people who come from a lower socioeconomic class to be able to afford all of these extra resources and the participation in these extra institutions, which makes it harder for them to even have the chance to consider coding or computer software or computer programming because they're never exposed to it from a young age. So we thought that it'd be great just to provide resources that are free for kids. If they're interested, they could learn it. And since lots of people don't have that much to do during the pandemic, I would say this could be a great way for somebody or a kid to find a new passion or hobby that they like.
Nice. Thanks, Arman. That's awesome. Austin, did you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I guess originally I already planned on doing it before like the pandemic like struck. And I guess it's just because like when I started like programming, I realized that like most schools don't have like that great of programs. It doesn't necessarily relate to I guess like programming. It's more about just like, like Scratch and like making like basic games. So I guess like when I started programming, I realized that like there's really no way to like learn it besides like spending thousands and thousands of dollars that like if you have to go to like an academy to learn, right? And basically I really hated the idea that like if you want to learn programming, you basically have to have a lot of money in order to learn it. So I guess like at my school, like we have a really good program. We have like computer programming like 9 all the way to 11 and 12, and it's like a very good program. So after I've learned like programming a lot, I guess I wanted to like help others learn.
Nice. That's awesome. Uh, and what was the process of setting up the project like?
I would say that I would say it's been a very fun process, especially for me. But it's taken a lot of time and effort because to just have an idea and for it to manifest into an actual physical entity and a tangible thing takes a lot of effort from everybody. And Austin put a lot of time into it in the beginning before I eventually became part of it. And I think he can speak on that in a short while. But for me, when I first came part of it, we were in the process of expanding and actually making ourselves legitimate with programs, sponsors, etc. So it's a lot of talking to people, networking, reaching out, and trying to see if we can partner with other organizations, trying to see if they'd be willing to support us, growing and building a team. And honestly, for me, it's been very exciting and enjoyable because it's so fun to be able to actually have an idea, to make your own ideas come into fruition, and to watch something grow from a seed into a full, really blossomed tree. And I think Austin may want to talk about like the beginning aspect of it.
Yeah, so from the beginning, like we didn't, I honestly feel like we didn't like plan that far ahead. So essentially, like me and my friend Kevin, we just started creating like a lot of PowerPoints, and then we just advertised classes originally on our own social media. And then after like I guess 1 to 2 weeks, we had like over like 300 kids registered, and like the spreadsheet was completely like stacked. So like honestly, like the planning wasn't that great. But after like we started getting our like trial classes like started, we had like over 100 people sign into Zoom at the same time to like go into like the class and learn. So I found that was like I guess pretty rewarding to see that many people like respond to our like original like advertisement. And I guess something that like really resonated with me was that like I think last Wednesday we held like a programming competition using this like website called HackerRank, which essentially we can just put questions on and then people can solve and we can see a leaderboard. And honestly, I didn't feel like the kids would soak that information in that quick, but like the leaderboard was completely like filled with people solving the problem. So I guess that was pretty rewarding.
And I just think that it's super cool to just have this idea. You know that you have these skills in coding, and then you realize that so many kids want to learn about it. because even from our first trial classes, there's been so much interest, and we're so lucky because now we realize that this summer, which we're going to have like hopefully lots of different programs into like classes of other institutions as well. And I'm just so excited to having the chance to teach lots of other kids.
Wow, that sounds awesome. It's amazing you guys have had so much interest already, and it must be super exciting to see Coding Pals continue to grow and you'll be able to reach more people. And so you've already mentioned this a little bit, but so far, what impact would you say Coding Pals has on its students?
Well, I think that really we're doing our best to instill a love of coding and just to provide them with the basics to see if they want to pursue that passion later on. I know, especially from our trial classes, if originally we were worried that, oh no, the students, there's so many of them, we only have 2 instructors right now, they might not be able to grasp the content and actually apply it and develop it. But then when we did the contest, lots of them really were good at it and were proficient at it. And I think that just speaks to the potential impact we could have in the future, because we've only reached out to maybe around 100 of kids in this class, and it's been our trial class, so we haven't fully established ourselves and made a full-blown curriculum with like specific lesson plans to how we want to in the future. And really, I think that in the future we could just amplify this and have an impact to hundreds of kids and really develop and allow them to foster a love of coding. And even this summer we hope to work with in one-on-one with our instructors so then they would have mentees they would have mentees who they'd be able to share their coding experience with, who come from a lower socioeconomic class and who may not have the same opportunities. This way, hopefully, we can, even if one of those students develops a love for coding, I think that'd be great, because otherwise they wouldn't have been able to do that.
That's awesome. It's I can really tell when talking to both you, Arman, and Austin, how you guys have this passion for coding, for this skill, and being able to share that through this project is just great. And at the Duke of Edinburgh's award as well, we really believe in the importance of mentoring and people sharing their knowledge and helping each other. So we're so happy to see you guys doing this project. I wondered, as a more general statement, because you guys have your passion coding, you've made this awesome project. What advice do you have for young people, maybe people doing the Duke of Ed, or just young people in general who want to make a difference? What would you say to them?
I guess that like if you really want to like, make a difference, I really suggest that you do something that you're really passionate about, because I feel like if you really enjoy what you're doing, it may seem less work to yourself, but more of like something that you can just really enjoy as a pastime even. And I think that, it's really key to find what you really enjoy in life and really pursue it, I guess.
And for me specifically, for people doing Duke of Ed, specifically perhaps bronze or silvers who are beginning it, I'd say truly make the most out of it, because for me, I really enjoyed the chance to be able to self-evaluate and reflect myself. And, oh, I started this program in this month, and I've now finished it bronze per se. And I look at all the achievement and progress I've made, and that just for me just speaks to how I've grown. And I think the Duke of Ed is a great tool for personal reflection to see how far you've come while doing the level. So I would say for those who are studying it, just to do things you're super passionate about and reflect on it. Think about how you've grown as a person, how you've grown as a character, and how you've grown as a learner. And in addition, just building on what Austin said, I would say that it's important to do what you love and do what you're passionate about. Don't do things because you don't want to do it, and just do things to do your best and try to make a positive difference to yourself, make yourself happy by doing them, or by making your community a better place.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Austin, Arman. That's super inspiring, and I think a really great message to share with everybody out there, whether their skills lie and passion lie in coding or in another area, is to really follow that, share it with others, and if they're doing the Duke of Ed, to take that time to focus things and then look back and reflect on how they changed. Really appreciate that. My last question for you guys would be, is there any other message you want to send out to people? I know in the past, Austin, you had mentioned you were kind of putting out a call for more volunteers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have space available now for instructors and volunteers who'd be responsible for teaching our curricula to actual students. So those applications and forms are now out. And so if anybody who is interested in coding, you don't have to have too much experience because there'll be training sessions and we'll make sure that you're competent and able to do it. Just fill out that form and you'll be able to work with younger children and it'll be a really fun opportunity.
Yeah.
And Austin, maybe you could add a tiny bit.
Yeah, so right now, like when we're currently trying to expand our program and create, I guess, like a one-on-one experience for children, because currently I don't really feel like it's most efficient to have like a Zoom call with like over 100 people on there. So I really want to like, like create some more separate classes with at most 30 people in there, and perhaps in the future, like create like a one-to-one like mentorship program where like, each like person who wants to learn coding can be paired with someone older.
That would definitely be a thing that would count for service as well. So we hope that some more of our participants can sign up with you guys if they have those skills so they can help your project and help more young people by sharing their own passion and building those skills. Awesome. So guys, it looks like our scheduled time is about up today. I really appreciate both of you taking the time to come out and share more information about Coding Pals, your project. And before you go, is there any other last remarks you'd like to say?
I just think that for youth especially, just to do what they're passionate about, as long as you're passionate and you really care about something, you have all the tools to be successful.
Mm-hmm. Austin?
Yeah, I guess same thing as Armand said. I really feel like it's important for, especially if you're like volunteering, to really find like an organization or like an idea, like maybe like, like saving, like helping the environment, or, like teaching younger kids like, essential math skills or reading skills. I think it's really important to do something you truly feel like you'll benefit yourself from, and you'll help others, I guess.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's definitely important to follow that passion and really look for those ways where you feel that you can make a true difference, maybe in the life of just one other person or maybe in your community as a whole. So we're so impressed by you guys, so proud of you guys that you're taking on this project Coding Pals and making that impact on so many young people already. And we wish you the greatest success as you continue with it. Thank you very much,
All right.
Austin, Armand, and the rest of your team.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.